We're live now. Throw a little of this up. We're Daily Dads. We're here. We got to throw it up, and it's our 100th episode.
Hey.
Boom, 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 boom.
100, 100.
Yeah, really. And it's been extremely rewarding. We've been very happy. I set this to go live on my private X, on my personal X, because I think that since we changed the logo and since we changed something in our thing, I'm realizing that's why we're not able to go live on there, which is upsetting. So that's okay.
I think we might be able to go live soon. I just think because you know how they have to re-verify you with the blue check when you change your profile picture.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see how it goes. 100. Oh, Dom's here.
Hey, Dom. Morning, Dylan. Good to see you, sir.
Badam.
Hey, guys.
What's up, brother?
Good morning.
Hey. What's up?
Dude, 100 came quick.
I know, right?
Yeah, man.
Made it through the summer.
100 days. I think it sneaks up on you, and I think because it's just, if anything, it just shows you how you just chip away those goals. Although, you know what? I wanted to make sure 100 is like a great thing. I think it's a great benchmark to celebrate, but obviously it's not about quantity, it's about quality, but I think both are here. So it's not as if we're missing those. But yeah, 100 episodes. I mean, you gotta be excited for that. That is consistency, huh?
Yeah,
every morning.
For sure. Every day.
It is. Guys, I didn't even think of this, but I did want to ask. Favorite episode, favorite month, favorite day, favorite meditation? Can you guys think back to one in particular?
The one that jumps to mind for me is the jelly donuts, but I don't know if it's because I just really enjoy that or because I don't like it because my wife hates it, but I just think it's like a funny story that like the one episode she checks out is the one where we're eating watermelon donuts, Dunkin' Donuts.
That definitely, that is in my mind as a funny one, which I almost wish that we had more of those type of episodes, more of those kind of things that we have done. But we'll get there. Maybe we'll do more. Who knows? As sponsorships roll in.
100%.
Dom, any favorite episodes from your mind?
I mean, the only one that comes to mind again is just Blaze asking everyone on the screen to sing at the same time whatever song was in their head.
That was a fun.
So yeah, it's the funny stuff. It's the funny stuff for sure.
I think about one back to when I had asked my brother to come on, and I would think I was camping. I was away, and I couldn't come here. And I had asked him to come on and pretend. If you guys remember The Office, the episode where there was Asian Jim, and I went out of my way to type this whole thing out, and I said, Jason, go on stream, but like pretend that like you're Asian Jim, like that you are me, like that there's nothing different, that like just pretend that like no one should believe that you're anyone but Ryan. And I think that broke down in like the first like 3 seconds, and so it didn't really work out. But I remember when my brother first came on, I think he was really happy to do it. So I was happy about that.
Well, I try to stay in character because like I was like, who is it? Like I was like, I didn't know it was your brother. I was like, and I was just rolling with it. I'm like, okay, looks like he's probably a dad. I can't see his calves, so I can't judge him on that.
They're savage.
Guys, it's so happy to be here at 100. I think it's great. There's no slowing down. I mean, if we were in a moment where we said, you know what, 100, that's our goal, we're done. You know what? That would not be it. We have plans to keep going.
I remembered another favorite. It was the All Turner takeover.
Oh yeah.
With your dad and brothers. That one was awesome.
It was fun. I was with my dad this weekend, and my dad jokingly says, he's like, men don't cry, blah blah. Like it's not really him, but he says it, I think, a little bit. But he was going into why he was getting so emotional with everything and why he was on, like how he was feeling when he was on there. It was cute, if anything. I don't think I've ever called my dad cute, but it was definitely something that was special. So thanks for letting us have that time together.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. We see some great people in the chat here, just as usual. We see Brofit. We got Dylan Ray Turner. We got Dom. Obviously, you're the first to comment first. We got Robbie over there. So thanks, guys. Thanks for showing up. We appreciate it. Community shout out. Just want to make sure that we bring some love over there. If we can just send some love, some prayers, just everything we possibly can down to Craig. We know that he lost his ex-wife, the mother of his kids. I believe yesterday morning for him, or this morning maybe for him, and kind of overnight for us. So just if we can give him a little bit of love and some prayers, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
But with that said, let's jump over to some gratitude right now. Guys, where are we? 100th episode. I'm grateful for it. We got something else in here. What else are we grateful for?
Episode 100, I think just coming back here each day, I made the switch recently to audio. So I think it's great as I'm driving to work right now, just listening to the meditation over and over a couple of times, letting it set in. So I guess it's great to have these different modalities, reading it, listening to it. I'm sure there's a Braille copy somewhere possibly. So I'm just thankful for technology.
Awesome. I like that too, because I need that. Dom, what's up? Any gratitude?
Mine's reflecting on, just a fun weekend, friends and family, just like really leaned into that this weekend, kind of tapped out a little bit. And then I actually haven't read any of the meditations this month. I just read this one this morning. So, that sparked a little gratitude towards books and reading and curiosity and all of that stuff, because that's kind of been my journey as of late. But yeah.
You both are savage readers. You guys have a thirst for it. I feel like I don't, but I'm going to use this month to really make sure that I can bring myself back up to par. So my goal is 3 books this month, along with you guys. So I'm definitely going to do that.
Nice. Is that your gratitude?
My gratitude this morning is Bodega Cats. So
Bodega Cats.
I met a Bodega Cat this morning, and his name was Rocco. I asked the guy behind the counter what his name was, I think 5 times, because I'm pretty sure I thought there was a D within the name that he was saying it. But Bodega Cats, it started a conversation with me and this bodega owner as I went in to go get some iced coffee, which I didn't have any at home. But we were talking, and then someone else came in to come pet the Bodega Cat, and then we all started talking. But we got together. We were talking because of this Bodega Cat, Rocco. And I thought that it was pretty cool. So Bodega Cats are not. I was just really grateful to have like one conversation between 2 other people that I wasn't expecting this morning, and it made me happy. So that's where I'm at.
So what is a Bodega Cat? Is that I'm confused.
I think it's probably a good amount of marks points off from the health department if they were to go into that store. Is really what it is. But it's a cat that lives within the little bodegas here. Not all of them have one, but where you walk in, you get a bagel or some simple groceries or something, and then the cats live in there, and then you assume that they like eat the rats and stuff like that. I don't know.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. I'm all for it.
He was a cute cat. It's kind of weird though. They like prepare food there, and then he was talking to me about how the cat like jumps in the counters. That's why I don't order food at these places.
Yeah,
I get things that are already closed, so it's actually pretty gross now. But I did appreciate the conversation, so yeah.
Oh man.
And I love that your brother made it back to the gym, because we were talking about that the other day.
Oh, my bro.
And I think I was confused like David, but I guess Bodega Cats are domesticated cats and not feral cats. They're not alley. There's a difference between a Bodega Cat and an alley cat. is what I learned today.
I'm almost feeling as if there's a domestic cat, there's a feral cat. See my hands, and then
Yeah.
in the middle, I think could be where bodega cats are a little bit, because like some do they always live there? I don't know. I guess so, but yeah, they're definitely.
They're just alley cats with a part-time job.
My dog needs a job.
Oh my gosh, guys!
What?
I have to post this. Okay, listen to this.
I'm listening.
I have the video, and that's what is making me so excited right now, because I have to post it. But it was like, I didn't know. In my mind, I was taking the video. I was on my walk. I saw a squirrel. There's a squirrel in the middle of the road. And I was like, hey, squirrel. And I was looking at the squirrel, and the squirrel's eating something. I was like, oh, how cute is that? It's almost fall. You probably found some nuts. You probably are getting ready. And I'm looking closer, and I'm like, that's not a nut. What's that squirrel eating? And I was like, that squirrel's in the middle of the road. And then I was like, wait a second, whatever that is, it has feathers. The squirrel was eating roadkill. And so I was like, what is happening right now? So I was like walking, I was videoing it, ran away, and I didn't know at this moment what it was. And then I like followed it and it ran into a tree. And then I got like a really good close up. Like there's no denying what this is. But like I saw in the squirrel's eyes, and I saw he was like, nothing's stopping me. I am going to survive and eat anything I can. And this squirrel, I'm going to post the video. You guys got to see it.
Oh,
the
man.
squirrel is on a tree. It has this like little tiny dead bird in its little paws, and it's just munching away at it. And I was like, where are we right now? It's like a zombie. It's like a zombie squirrel. I don't know if I ever saw that before.
I didn't know squirrels ate meat.
Either did I, but apparently they do. And if we ever run out of cats to use as bodega cats, we can have bodega squirrels. Animals are getting jobs. The animals are taking over our jobs.
Oh man,
That's wild.
Whew.
You ever hear the theory that birds aren't real?
Don't tell squirrels that. They'd run out of food, apparently.
Yeah.
Wow. That's some curious stuff.
Now I need to watch for some squirrels and see what's up. All right, Tuesday, the day after Labor Day. Dom, you went sailing yesterday. Ryan, did you go kayaking yesterday?
Not yesterday, the day before, but went kayaking. It was great. We had a good time.
Nice. And then I went to the outlet mall yesterday and got ready for school. So
can we correct something, Blaze?
yeah, what's up?
What is Labor Day?
Labor Day is a day to celebrate the workforce of America and all the labor and hard work that people have put in. Yeah?
That's a completely different and better answer than we shared yesterday when we were like, I think it's active military. That's what it's for. And then we were just wrong. So I think we just needed to correct the fact that we did not know what Labor Day was, and I'm glad that we said it out loud.
Guys,
my kids asked me that yesterday, and I thankfully gave the right answer.
Oh, that was good.
I was like, you're supposed to be celebrating me for all the labor I do to put food on your table. This is my day.
My day.
That's what I'm taking.
Where's my card?
Except I always go into it going, damn it, I can't work today. I have shit to do.
That's what my wife is saying too. She's like, some of us still have to work. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I get it. Yeah.
Oh, Nath just said we're allowed to start now because the Australians are here.
We were waiting for you. We haven't even talked about today's meditation yet. So we were waiting when we were giving you guys some flowers.
3 people sitting in silence while we waited for you guys to log in.
Then lots of love to Australia too.
Yeah.
Correct, thinking of you and your family, and then unrelated, Nathan, I know you got your big show to do. Pretty cool, I think. Well, this is tomorrow, but I think tomorrow's today there, or it's almost tomorrow there.
Oh, and my kids want to know if they can get on a monthly subscription of Tim Tams because those two bags that you sent are completely gone.
Gone.
And I shared them with friends too that we had over for a pool party, and they loved them too. So they were a big hit, man.
Oh, how
Thank
was
you.
the pool party with the families that had rekindled friendships?
It was so good.
That's awesome.
We talked a lot about how much we missed hanging out with each other. It was very, very good time. So we'll be doing that more often. There's already girls' trips. There's already moms planning moms' trips and dads planning to go to the bar together. It's already happening. So
That's awesome.
I think we almost started a separate mom's book club and dad's book club where the moms read like romance and crime novels and the dads are all reading self-help books and parenting books. It was pretty funny.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Well, what do we got today, guys?
Is it? I don't have the book in front of me, but is it Instilling the Love of Learning? Is that the title for today?
The title for
No.
today's close. That was really good. No, it is. I'm not being sarcastic. But it's Introduce Them. Wait, no. Yeah, Introduce Them to the Friendly World of Ideas. And then it starts off with a quote from Barack Obama. And he says, our first job, our first responsibility is instilling a sense of learning, a sense of love of learning in our kids. How do you feel about that?
I love it. I think because I think that's our whole goal as parents is we're only guides. We can't control our kids. I mean, when they're babies and toddlers and little, I think it's a lot easier to control them. But at the end of the day, we still can't control every aspect of their life. And when they get the whole point is to guide them to make good decisions, and they run their own lives. Because what can you control and what can't you control? And so I think I love this idea of learning. And for me personally, what I've been thinking about is it's my job to always be introducing them to different things and spurring these different ideas. Or I feel that I've failed as a father if I'm not I'm really excited about the routines. And I'm like, why am I so excited about the routines? And I think part of it is, I want them to go to school and be out of my house, but it's also like they're going to school to learn. And I know some people are not a lot. I don't know if it's a lot or not, but I know some people are against different education stuff, but they're going to learn foundational things. And hopefully my first grader will learn to read this year. So I'm excited.
Dom,
so this one, it's funny that I hadn't read at all this month, but then when you guys were bouncing back into text about books, and I tuned into it today, and I'm like, oh yeah, this month's tough for me because both my wife and I, we've always hated reading. I think I've told you guys that before. Up until a couple years ago, I hadn't read a book since I got out of college.
Oh wow.
And so it's just been a thing. That's just never been a thing for us. And even when we had kids, it was always tough for us because, we would never read. We would read to the kids, but only to a certain extent. And I think we're the complete opposite of this month. We have not raised readers at all. And then it's gotten to a point where now that I'm reading, at first I was just doing it on the side, in my morning time, you see right here. So the wife, the kids, they wouldn't really know about it, but I would talk to them about some stuff. I would talk to my wife about some stuff, and I've been trying to get her to read some things, some relationship stuff, some parenting stuff, all that stuff. And she's fought me tooth and nail. Even gotten to the point where she's just back off. It's not going to go well. And so I have, and then I'll come back a little later and kind of bring some stuff up. And it has been a point of contention. And so it's been tough. And this month is a tough one for me because I'm trying to read more in front of all of them. But even then I need absolute silence, to read. I'm not a multitasker. If I can hear noise in the other room, you guys see me when I'm on the stream, when someone's walking by or driving by, I lose focus very quickly, and I have to stay focused to concentrate on something like reading. So it's hard for me to do in a chaotic home of 3 kids. So that's why, I wake up early and I do it in the morning time. So this is like this month is like a huge month of failure for me because I haven't raised readers. I don't know that they're, curious in that aspect. Books aren't their things. Maybe they will be one day, but they're more of, content and media. Like they learn stuff. So, it's not like the end all be all, but it's definitely not through books.
Did you guys ever see Captain Fantastic,
No.
the movie?
I don't think so.
There's a part in the movie that reminds me of that I always remember. And it is about, having kids like Dom, you're talking about like reading and there being this perfect thing and kind of how your kids are learning. But Captain Fantastic, loosely, I believe what the whole premise was like not like raising a family within the confines of what, society deems as appropriate for, kids going to school and, living within, the whole like white picket fence, sending your kids to school to learn whatever, the country wants our kids to learn, whatever it is, right? So basically Captain Fantastic, I believe, is basically like it's the dad. And the dad, if anyone remembers, what's his name? He has an accent. I know he played superhero something, whatever it is. But he keeps his family. They basically like live out in the woods. They live in the wilderness. But he basically teaches his kids like everything, like through experiences, but then also teaches them how to think critically and about certain things. And so the movie goes on about how I think someone in his family, that father's family, was like, or maybe it's his wife who died, because I think they were out in the wilderness. The wife got sick and the wife died, and then I think he got blamed for not wanting to be in society, whatever it was. And now I think like the wife's family had basically asked for, all the kids to be brought back into society. And he was like, I don't understand why, but did it anyway. And it was this weird, it was watching the kids and the family have to now integrate within like the real world. But there was one scene in particular where someone's like, well, your kids, they just need to be in school, I think is what like the sister-in-law was saying. And he's like, well, what do you mean? And she's like, they have to be in school to learn. And so they're in the same house, and Captain Fantastic, who like has this like really like bushy beard, like wilderness kind of guy, he calls down his nephews and he asks like something about like the Constitution or something and says like, hey, can you guys tell me about the Constitution or an amendment or something like that? And then like they didn't know. They gave like the, kind of how we answered, Labor Day, whatever we did yesterday, Blaze, like it's just almost like an incoherent, very simple, like surface level kind of, questionable definition of what the Constitution was. And then he calls down his daughter, the youngest daughter. So like these two nephews, I think they were like maybe, I don't know, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then he calls down like his 7-year-old daughter and he says, hey, honey, I just want you to let me know, what is the Constitution? She like rattles it off, like just like textbook, like what it is. And he goes, no, I don't want you to tell me what it is. Now, give me your opinion about like what this, what this part of the Constitution says. And she goes off and she now talks about it in, what she feels about it, how it fits into current day, how it fit into like the past day, or just like history, all that kind of stuff too. But it was this like diverse way of thinking, this like very dynamic way of thinking. I always think back to that movie about how like I don't think that I would be more like those nephews. And the way that my girls are learning, sometimes I'm like, are they really learning? Are they more like the nephews? Are they more like that 7-year-old that kind of had, ideas and opinions and they could actually speak to it, not just like define it. Anyway, great movie, but it always makes me think about like when I read this, I was like, that's the curiosity. Like I want my kids to be so curious that they don't ever look to define something, but they look to tell me about their opinion and how they feel and like how creative they can kind of be with it. I think it would be a great movie night for us to do as a dad's group and then kind of talk about actually. But that's
That was a really good. That was a really good explanation of that movie. At first, when you said Captain Fantastic, I started thinking of superhero movies, and I'm like, no, I don't think I've heard of that superhero or anything like that. But no, I've seen that movie, and that's a really good movie. I love that movie.
I mean, thought-provoking too.
And I love that part too. I knew exactly that part when you were going to it. I was like, yeah, that part blew me away.
I feel like I need
Yeah.
to go watch it now. And I'm like, I see the couch, or the couch, the chat, the people on the couch, chat.
Wait, I love that actually. I love it. Let's just call it the couch from now on. That sounds so much better than the chat actually.
Are talking about it. So I might try and I'm trying to see if I can watch it tonight. I don't know. We'll see. But I love that. And then I think it ties in really good to the meditation today. Because the one part that really stood out for me is like talking about ideas and just this love of learning. But it was also like trying to set up our kids to have conversations around difficult topics. And to me, I think that's like really, really hard. Like, I don't really like talking about politics or religion or some of these like hot topics that people want to talk about. And I'm not saying I don't want to say that I should or shouldn't be, but I think everyone should be prepared. Like, everyone has a stance. You should be able to verbalize how you feel about something, even if it's hard or you disagree with someone. And that could be just even like something at work, like who puts paper in the printer or something like that. So I think it ties in really well. Like, I'm picturing now, because I haven't seen the movie, the 6-year-old speaking to the Declaration of Independence, and how at 6 years old I couldn't do that. So
Yeah. It's making me think. Is there anything that you think that you should introduce your kids to right now? Like, it's obviously the month of reading, all that kind of stuff too. I also love what you said, Blaze, about just like difficult conversations. Are there any difficult conversations that you haven't been having with your kids that you feel like could be something to use this as a catalyst to finally have that?
I'm trying to like, I'm falling victim just to like the most present situations. And I just remember this weekend we went to a friend's house, and Bryson, the 6-year-old, was like, he kept like throwing their toys around. And so I'm trying to think like responsibility, treating other people's things with respect. I don't know how that ties in your question though, but I'm just thinking like, what kind of lessons do we need to work on?
Yeah. I also, like, yesterday, it was a good reminder to like teach with story versus just like repeating all the same stuff. Dom, are there any difficult conversations you haven't been having with your girls, or your kids?
I mean, I just haven't been going much deeper into the conversations. Like, I'm sparking the ideas. Like, I've been trying to be a little bit more open with both of them about my past, my life, like with my teenager, about like the things that I was doing in high school. We've been hitting on the topics of parties and drinking and drugs and dating, and like we're getting into the realm of sex and pregnancy and all that stuff. And like, again, more my wife than me. With me, it's just like kind of like passing comments, not really like having like the full on conversation. And then with our middle child, it's more about, friendship and being dramatic and like, causing like fights within friends and being, a little overly emotional and reading too hard into things. So there's just a lot.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm going to be a little mindful today. I'm going to think about anything that I feel like is a difficult conversation or something we haven't really been talking about, from that idea of being curious. What a fun one. Also, if you guys want to think about how you can introduce some of these difficult topics to your kids, my girls have been watching a lot of Full House lately, which has been excellent, by the way. I've liked watching it because it's nostalgic, it's like slower paced, and there's so much learning. I walked in on my daughter watching the episode when Stephanie goes to a makeout party and she had to like navigate that whole situation. I didn't know how my 7-year-old was taking that in, but it definitely brought up a pretty good conversation. So if you're looking for topics, go watch Full House right now. I think after season 4, it's probably going to be the best thing for anyone that needs those topics. So, yeah. Anyway, it's 9:00, guys. Any last thoughts?
Dad, you just think I think you're a great dad. I don't think you're a failure, and I think your kids can read. Well, I think my 6-year-old can't read, so I'm sure your 6-year-old's working on it. But it's never too late. I'm just thinking in my own life, like, it's never too late. Like, my kids can't ride bikes, none of them, and so I'm thinking, I need to identify these things, and if I think they're important, work on them. And so that's what I'm thinking about for me today, and especially tying into like what lessons do we want to work on.
Yeah, I got that. Dom, how about you? Any last words?
No, no, not really. I mean, I'll shout out Nath's here. I mean, the world is a place of great ideas. This one hit me. The world is exactly that, provided you put yourself and more importantly your kids into that positive position. And I agree. Like sometimes I love reading just like the last section of these readings because he really likes to like hit something at the end, and those are like the big hitters for me. And I appreciate that. Kind of tying the readings off in a nice way. But there's nothing to be afraid of except fear and ignorance. And it's like the whole thing about this whole month and this whole chapter is just about getting them into curiosity and just opening them up, basically.
Love that. And then just before we go, I just want to say some stuff on the couch or the chat. Anne was
It's couch. It's couch now.
Squirrels are savage. Birds aren't. I didn't even talk about. There's some like theory that all birds are robots or something like that. It's a fun one. And then your brother hasn't taken his kids skiing. I need to take my kids skiing too here in upstate New York. Man, what a great 100th episode. And David was talking about all kids need to learn different language. I think that's a great lesson as well. So, me amo Benito. Muy bien.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
That's all I got.
Sign us off, bud.
Oh, thanks. Mucho gusto.
Ryan, last thought?
I'm just excited to post a squirrel video, and I will tag as many people as I can.
So if we're not here tomorrow, guys, it's because we got kicked off socials for this savage squirrel.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. We might, yeah, I don't know. I think we'll
put it on your personal, not on BDads.
All right, dudes. Anyway, mugs full of coffee, hearts with gratitude. We love you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See y'all.
Bye.